Hi there. It's Sunday afternoon. Bob and I worked in the garden a little bit today. We kind of overslept this morning due to the time change. I hope some of you didn't do like we did, but anyhow. So this afternoon I've just got some soup going in the crock pot. That cabbage beef soup, which everybody's been looking at that recipe. It's a great soup and very filling and sort of healthy. Anyhow, I'm going to make a dessert, which will not be healthy. It's actually just some Oreo truffles that will be dipped in white chocolate and then sprinkled with some green sugar in honor of St. Patrick's Day coming up. So just wanted to show you this cute little recipe. You can use, I'm using the regular Oreos, but you could use the ones that have the mint cream in the center of them. A lot of folks, I think, would be doing that if you like the chocolate and mint flavor together. So I'm just going to grind these up pretty quickly here in the food processor. Still see some pieces in there. I'm going to keep doing this because I know you don't want to hear all this noise, but I'm just going to keep doing it until it's really just fine crumbs, and then I'll get right back with you. Okay, I did like 10 more pulses, and now there are no big pieces of, it's all just powdery crumbles in here now. So I have heated up 4 ounces of cream cheese for like 20 seconds in the microwave just to get it good and soft. And now I'm going to put this in here with and this will just make it have a nice texture where we can dip it out. And it should hold together. So here we go again. Turned into a ball in there now. Nice dough ball, which is what we want. Alright, that's a nice dough ball, as you can see. Bring it closer where you can see down in there. It's just a nice big dough ball. So what we're going to do now is take our little scooper, and it would probably be better if you had one a little bit smaller than this. This one's the large size. My small size, I think, is too small, so I need to get me one of the medium-sized ones. But if you have one of those, that'd be great. About a tablespoon is what you want. So I'm just going to kind of get it leveled off here. And now, let me move this so you can see. Oh, by the way, that was 20 Oreos that I ground up. So 20 Oreos to a half a block of cream cheese, or 4 ounces is what I used. So there you can see this. So now I'm just going to drop these on wax paper. I think these are really big. Probably way too big. Make them smaller. Because this is supposed to make 2 dozen. The size these are, I don't think it will. There's 6 right there. So what I'm doing is I'm putting them on this wax paper, and then I'm going to shape them into better balls. And some that might be too big, I'll divide out into others, but at least this gets it out of here pretty easy. Yeah, those first ones were way too big. Sorry about that, folks. Definitely need a smaller scooper. Or I could just use a tablespoon, which, you know, they're supposed to be about tablespoon size. But I just love using the scoopers. Alright, so now I'm going to just use my hands and make these into balls, and I will just roll them out, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm back. I wound up divvying some of them up, and I wound up making 24 fairly even sized little balls, and I just rolled them in my hand like this, so just to make them sort of round. So now I'm going to just put them in the refrigerator. At this point, you could make these, put them in the refrigerator, and not do the rest of it until tomorrow if you wanted to. So it's a good thing that you can prepare ahead of time. I'm just going to cover them over with some more wax paper, and then stick them right in the refrigerator. And once they're nice and cold, then I'm going to take some white chocolate and melt it, and we will be pouring the white chocolate over them. So I think there's going to be so cute. But anyhow, I'll be back with y'all in just a few minutes. Hey y'all, I've got the little truffle things in the refrigerator cooling off, but I wanted to talk with you a little bit more about this idea of time change. I know that the time changed this morning, and you know, it was rough for some of us, including me, who overslept, but I think that there's more to this subject than just the clock on the wall or on your watch. I mean, we're not necessarily just talking about the time on the clock changing, but what about the changes that time brings? There's been a lot of terrible changes that have happened in the past year, a lot of sadness that a lot of you have gone through. I know a lot of my friends and I have, we lost our pastor at our church, and it was our assistant pastor. Anyhow, it was very rough for some of us, and there was some happy changes. There were a lot of births and marriages and all those other kind of changes that happen in life, but then there was proms that didn't get to be attended, and graduations and people in the hospital where you couldn't be with them, just lots of changes that came with that year. But then in life in general, there are changes, and there always will be changes, because time just marches on. And if you go back and look in the Bible at Ecclesiastes 3, it's like everything has its time. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So, for some of you that are my followers on Facebook, I read your comments. I love some of the things you've written to me. I know that some of you are maybe facing holidays alone, or not they're just going to be different. Maybe it won't be alone, but it might not be with your family. You know, families grow up, they grow away. Sometimes they gather back together, but not always. So it's just, to me, it's a time to reflect of all the beautiful times I've had in my life with my family, my children, my grandchildren, and you know, it's time sometimes to just pass the baton down and let someone else take over the things that you always did. So maybe there was a family tradition. Maybe there was always having a meal together at your house instead of someone else's house. So, but sometimes it's just time to think about that and try not to think of it in a selfish way, but think of it as how time passes on, and how there is a time for every season. So anyhow, when these get ready to come out, they're nice and chilled, and we're ready to take them out of the refrigerator. I'll get back with you, and we'll see how we melt the candy coating, or the chocolate coating to go on them, and put the green sprinkles on them. Anyhow, I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Hey there, we're back, and I just took these out of the refrigerator. Let me see if I can get you closer here. You can see a little better, maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Well, anyhow, they're very, very, very cold. So I'm just picking them up with this fork. I'm gonna have it right there like that. I melted these little white wafers. I'll show you in just a second. In the microwave on half power, and it took about 2 minutes to do it. But now I'm just drizzling this white chocolate all over these little balls, and then going to set it right down here on the cookie sheet. And then I've got the little green sprinkles that I'm just going to sprinkle on top of it. And that's just green sugar. I think you could probably dye your own sugar, but I bought this already done. I've got it at Hobby Lobby. But let me show you how cute those look up close. Aren't they cute? Once that firms up, which it should, this one's pretty cold. It's already firmed up just that quickly, but look how good that is. And I'm going to taste one just to confirm how good they taste. So, but isn't that cute? That's my little St. Patrick's Day dessert. So, ooh, that tastes like a chocolate cheesecake. Yum. Very rich, y'all. You wouldn't want to make them very big. This size is just about perfect. It's like 2 bites, which is just enough to satisfy your sweet tooth. Let me show you those little these are like little white chocolate Ghirardelli, white chocolate little wafers, and I'll show you what one looks like, what they look like. They're just like little wafers like this. You just put them in a bowl and stick them in the microwave on half power and let them cook for, till it melts really good. On mine, it took about 2 minutes because I did like 30 seconds and then another 30 and another 30 like that. But anyhow, y'all, they're really good. I think they'll look really cute, and I'll have fun sharing those with my friends. Y'all have a blessed evening. I love you, and don't let the time change mess you up too bad. Bye-bye.